Chapter 5, Rocks, Section 1, Classifying Rocks. Make sure you put your titles on each paper, so on top of each paper, so if you tear them out, you don't lose your sections and get them mixed up. Alright, so mineral composition and color. These are two things that geologists use to identify rocks. They also use texture. Now, I have two rocks here. Are you sure they're rocks or are they minerals? We have a lot of minerals that comprise of and make up rocks. So geologists need to determine what's inside these rocks and how they were formed. So they use the composition, the color, and texture to identify these different pieces of rocks. A rock's color provides clues about a rock's mineral composition as well. Granite is continental crust. We talked about this last chapter. It's going to come up again. It's usually a light-colored rock that is high in silica content, and basalt is our oceanic crust. And this is dark and it's low in silica content. The silica content we'll talk about, but just know that the content of the silica determines the color and composition as well of the rock. Now, the texture is very useful in identifying a rock. Rocks can be smooth, they can be rough, they can be jagged. So there's different textures that make up these rocks. Most rocks are made of particles or minerals in which geologists call grains. Grains give rocks their texture. There's coarse grain. So for example, this rock, I don't know if you can see it very well, is considered coarse grain. It's very large, you can see the different components of it. This one would be fine grain. Okay? It's very small, tiny texture. The grain size are large and easy to see. These are coarse grain rocks, and the grains that are small are fine grain rocks. Okay? Coarse, fine grain. So here's an example. I would draw this into your notebooks to give you an idea of what it means when we're talking about grain size. So for example, this rock here, I'm not going to tell you what it is because we're going to talk about this rock again in class and give away some information. It is coarse grain, so it's got large. You can see it. So I would say this would be a large coarse grain. Okay, so then you have fine, medium, and coarse. I would draw what you see in those circles and label them and give yourself an example. Now, I'm not going to ask you specific rocks, so just know that, alright? But there's an example. It shows you the picture as well of what those different rocks look like. The grain shape, the grains in a rock are going to vary. Some grains look like tiny particles of sand, kind of like this one. You'll see it in class. Exploding stars or even small seeds. Grains result from the shapes of crystals that form in some rocks. So things like quartz and other crystal-forming minerals do form in these rocks, and so the rock grain will take a crystal-like shape. Some grain shape results from fragments of several rocks. So sometimes you have several rocks that actually make up one because they're comprised of different elements, and due to heat and pressure and the course of them being created is going to change it. So they tend to be jagged or smooth. So here's the grain angularity. So they're going to be either round, sub-rounded, sub-angular, or angular. So the angular would be your jagged rock pieces. So this breccia you see here pictured, it is a angular. Conglomerate is a rounded grain, so you can actually see the rounded one. This rock contains round. I don't know how well you guys can see this, but you will see this in class. You'll be able to touch it. So once again, I would draw examples of what these angularities look like so you have it in your notebooks. Grains in rock often form patterns, alright? So it's a consistent pattern that repeats over and over because of the way it's been created. Some grains lie flat in layers that look like stacks of pancakes. Others are swirling patterns. Some rocks have grains of different bands. No, not like rock bands, but they actually have like straight lines across it. So they're called a band. So for example here, this one is more like irregular, kind of swirled in there. You have some swirling here. And this would be a band-shaped rock. Not shaped pattern, sorry. So this would be a repeating pattern, kind of. You see those circles, but then you have some swirls in there as well. So it's kind of a combination. Whereas this one has got actual bands. Now, how rocks form. Alright, we're going to get into more detail on each one of these. But know that there's three major types of rock: igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic. So you have three main types of rock: igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic. we are going to go into details. You have to know how each one of these is made. Using color, texture, and mineral composition, geologists can classify a rock according to its origin. Igneous rock forms from cooling magma. Sedimentary rock is going to form from compressed sediments and remains of plants and animals. So eutrophication, that process we talked about eons ago, that process actually forms sedimentary rock. Metamorphic rock, this forms when existing rock is changed by heat and pressure or chemical reactions. We're going to talk about all three of these and how these rocks were actually formed. Now, if you have any questions on this introductory on rock formations, please come see me. We will talk about it more in class, so be prepared. Have a good night.